Okay, we are live. It's 5:04 p.m. 5:04 p.m. and it is Wednesday, December 28th, and this is a 2022 wrap up. And we
With
have a
brief
lot.
advance.
Yes, Brianna, brief at dance in the house. We have a lot of things. My mom used to always say, "Count your blessings," right? We
Correct.
have a lot of blessings to count from 2022. You in particular made a lot of progress. You announced publicly like a week or so ago that you are a whole coiner,
Hmm.
that you have a whole Bitcoin, which is quite an accomplishment. And you also have put that Bitcoin in self custody. So
Yes.
that's a big step where you're taking personal responsibility. We love to see a youngster like yourself taking personal responsibility. And that is one of the unique aspects of Bitcoin is that you can actually self custody. You don't have to trust a third party like a bank, credit union, whatever, the government, whatever, to hold your Bitcoin on your behalf. You can do it yourself. So, how does it feel? How does it feel to be a whole coiner and to have your own Bitcoin in self custody?
So I feel secure and I guess not financial, like, I guess maybe it's financially stable. Um,
You feel like you've got some control, some
some
stability.
control, some
Yeah,
stability, and I feel safe. I don't feel like nervous about all these third parties, gonna,
possibly losing your Bitcoin.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, so I feel good.
Kyle's in the house. Uh, Tanzil is in the house, and he says, "Thoughts on AP Royal Oak?" I'm not a fan. I don't like the design. I think it's an unattractive watch. I don't like watches that are squared off and watches that have integral bracelets and watches that how should I say
Are too busy.
well, yeah, and some of these watches that are that design, Genta, whoever the guy is that designed them, some of them even have exposed screws on the outside, on the front, and so I mean, it's just if I want an attractive watch to wear. Can you
Me
pull up
too.
a picture of the 002 on that we can show later? And here, by the way, here's an 002 on my wrist. I want something that's really attractive. If I'm going to spend a lot of money for a nice watch, I want something that really looks gorgeous on the wrist. Um, and I don't buy watches based on what influencers say on Facebook. I was buying really nice, gorgeous watches before Facebook ever existed, before the internet ever existed. Right? Kyle's in the house. He's been buying nice watches for a long time. He's got a Rolex that's an oldie but a goodie
Woody but
that he
goody.
had restored, and that's a gorgeous watch. That's a watch that I would take over a Royal Oak any day of the week. That Rolex that Kyle has, maybe he'll share a comment about that. Um, but yeah, I buy. I mean, I wore Rolex day dates for many many years, probably about 40 years, 4 decades. I wore
So,
various day dates. I think I had three or four of them in my time.
so that's
So there
why.
is the O2. That shows you that beautiful case design and so forth. Just a very attractive watch. You don't have to make a watch ugly for it to be interesting. Oh, my faux pas. Thank you. Thank you. So, so yeah, I mean, oh, well, yeah, let's go ahead and show that clasp. Also, the deployant clasp is also stunning. So, yeah, I mean, you really don't have to have an unattractive watch. Oh, that's the same vest I'm wearing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's not bore them with the photos. They have a chance to see all those. By the way, this is a tribute to The Blacklist, one of my favorite series, The Blacklist. And the character in there this past season, he wore an open collar a lot with the top two buttons unbuttoned, like I'm doing right now. And then, of course, I'm wearing the faux pay necklace and a Bitcoin uh,
Pendant.
pendant. Yeah. So that is kind of a tribute to that show, um, because it is super cool. It is super cool. So Blacklist, check it out. Kyle's in the house.
Blacklist.
When are you heading for Sarasota this year? Okay, so I'm not
Oh,
going until
2023.
November. No, November of this year. No, November of 23,
Yeah.
next year. Yeah, I keep forgetting we're not in 2023 yet. You got a couple
Yet.
more days to go here. Next year, my plan is to pull the ripcord. I'm done with Maryland. Done, done, done. I was a snowbird for many years, back and forth, just wintering down in Florida. I've made the decision. I think I'm going to pull the ripcord and leave Maryland for good
For good.
and never come back here. It's becoming a socialist state, socialist. Okay. And so I'm a firm believer in freedom. I always have been, even before Bitcoin came along. I was pro freedom, pro individual rights, and pro property rights. Now we finally have a chance, like Brianna is self-custodying her Bitcoin. We finally have a chance to have true property rights where we can actually have our property in our possession and nobody can take it from us. Nobody can take your Bitcoin from you. Okay. They can huff and puff and do whatever they want. They can get a court order, whatever they want. They can't take your Bitcoin. And that's true property rights, right? And so Tim is in the house. Let's see what he says. He says, "Hi, Kyle and all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year." Yes, I think 2023 is going to be a beautiful year. I think Bitcoin is going to bottom. If it hasn't already bottomed, I think it'll probably bottom in the first quarter of 2023. And then I think we'll have a slow climb in price. And then, of course, we'll have the next hype cycle after the halving, which the halving is in early 2024. That'll happen. Then there'll be a whole bunch of hype and there'll be a bunch of speculators, a bunch of people piling in. The price will pump like crazy, rinse and repeat. Like we do this every 4 years, right? Like clockwork. So I think that's what's going to happen.
And then
And
they'll start buying and they'll be like, well, why didn't you tell me before when it was like lower than this?
they'll start people that I'm begging and pleading with them to sell everything you've got in your house, sell anything you can get rid of. I just sold a beautiful shearling coat. Tell them about that, Bree.
Yes. So you just sent it today, right?
It just went out in the mail today
Um,
on eBay.
and it was like 180 something.
Yeah, 189 bucks, whatever. I just sold a beautiful shearling coat made in England, $189. I'm going to take that money and put it in Bitcoin. And what's that going to be worth 10 or 20 years from now? Yeah, probably a whole lot of money, folks. So if you can turn things that you're not going to be using, and the reason I sold that is I have another shearling coat. I have backups of everything, guys. So I have 100%
You have enough
cashmere top coats.
to
I
live.
have multiple ones, right? I don't have just one. I have multiple, right? So I sold one of my really nice cashmere top coats the other day. A beauty, 100% cashmere, beautiful coat. Sold that. Sold one of my Burberry trench coats, a lined Burberry trench coat made in England. Sold
Wow.
that.
Wow.
I have two others, you know. Because in Florida, I'm not going to need all this warm weather gear. I sold a beautiful parka, Air Force parka, one of the ones that's made in the United States of America. Really good one. Some jump pants that you use when you're skiing and you jump out of a helicopter and then ski down the mountain. I
Oh my
sold a pair
God.
of those. Okay. I pulled in like a couple of grand in the last month or so
That's pretty good.
from eBay. These are things that I'm not wearing, haven't been wearing, and that are extras, and that I'm taking that money and putting it in Bitcoin.
Pretty
So
smart.
we'll see
Pretty
what
smart.
happens with that 5 years from now. Let's revisit this 5 years from now, and let's see what that $189 that I just got on that shearling coat that I put into
Is
Bitcoin.
worth.
We'll see what that's going to be worth in 5 years. Tim's in the house. Craig, what are they doing with property rights in Maryland? Oh, Maryland is really going to the socialists. It's really a problem. We were trying to hold the line here. Let's go to Tom. Hi all, been a while. Hope you're doing well. We are doing great, Tom. We're celebrating a fantastic 2022. So Tim, back to your question. Here's the thing. Frederick County, which is the middle of the state, they call it mid-Maryland, used to always be very conservative. From here west, the two counties west, Garrett County and Allegheny County, all were very conservative. Even Frederick County now has turned liberal, has turned blue. All the rest of the state to the east, Baltimore, all of that was already blue, right? Now the last holdouts, which is Frederick County, Washington County, Allegheny County, and Garrett County, they're all tumbling. They're all going blue. So this whole state is going to be socialist, and I can't take it. I just can't take it anymore. I'm getting the heck out of here. And Kyle said and I've talked to other people. Kyle said he thought it would be a good idea
Good.
to just totally blow this state off and just go to Sarasota. He checked it out. Let us know in the chat, Kyle. What did you think about Sarasota? What was your impression of Sarasota? Let's see here. Cheetown's in the house. He says, "Hey, Craig and Bree, hope you both had a great holiday." Okay. Yes, I did. I bought some Bitcoin while other people were buying all kinds of different things for Christmas presents and all that. I just bought some Bitcoin for myself.
That was your
cold
Christmas
storage.
gift.
I don't know. That's just what I'm doing. This is cheap
Nothing
Bitcoin, in
bad.
my opinion.
Nothing bad.
What else do we have we can show? Did we show your Twitter for folks that want to follow you on Twitter?
Sure.
There it is. And she's got the banner up there for Bitcoin 2023. She's got a code that you can use, Briefit Dance, right? Use Briefit Dance. You can get a discount. We were at
all in caps.
That's another thing. We were at Bitcoin 2022 down in Miami. There were probably 20,000 people there. It was huge. And I'll tell you what, just seeing that conference told me that the days are numbered to where we're going to be able to get cheap Bitcoin.
Oh yeah.
The cat's going to get out of the bag. People are going to start understanding this, and it doesn't take that many big players to start understanding the significance of what this is, the significance of it being limited to 21 million units. Doesn't take that many big players to understand this, to where there's going to be a real supply shock, especially once we go through the next halving and we go from 900 Bitcoin to 450 Bitcoin a day being created. They're going to cut the supply in half. We've already got more than 19 million of the 21 million, the Bitcoin have already been created, are already out, right? So you just have a small portion that still is to be created. We're going to have a real supply shock on our hands. It's going to be a real problem.
Oh, yeah.
And if people don't act, they're going to have problems. By the way, circling back to the watches, oh, good to see you both at the grid. Okay. Kyle says, I loved it. You can't go wrong in Sarasota.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. It's like the state of Victoria here. It used to be conservative, but now it's not. Yeah. A lot of places are going downhill. So circling back to watches, I have noticed, it looks like to me that more and more watches are becoming available. Rolexes specifically, that people are getting the call, that more and more people that didn't think they were going to get the call have been getting the call, which means the AD calls them up and says, "Hey, your watch is here. The watch that you wanted, you wanted a Pepsi, it's here. You wanted a Batman, it's here," right? This type of thing. And so it's interesting, and prices are dropping. Prices on the gray market models are dropping. And I think this is going to be a gradually then suddenly type thing. I think once we get to the point where the gray market dealers really start realizing that there's a big problem and they all start trying to liquidate their inventory at almost the same time, this is where we can see prices go back to normal, where you'll be able to go into an AD and buy whatever watch you want, basically. And sometimes you'll be able to get a discount. I think we're going to head back to that normalcy. Uh, this
They won't
over
be as expensive.
yeah, this overhyped watches and all. I mean, they're still expensive even if you buy it at list price, right? But you're not going to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars over retail
Yeah.
for these steel watches. You're just not going to be doing it. I think that's where we're headed with all of this. What releases would you like to see from GS in 2023, Tom, in the house? I would love for them to contact us and talk to me and Kyle. And I think they should fly us to Japan.
Oh yeah.
I think they should fly Kyle and myself and the lovely lady Brianna, maybe Jason, a couple of the other Wrench Gang members. As a matter of fact, I think they should extend an invitation to all Wrench Gang members. I think all Wrench Gang members, I think they should charter a jet. Okay? Because if you fly more people, it's cheaper per person. If you charter the jet, let's say you charter a G6, one of the ones that's set up to carry, like, let's say, a dozen people, one of those, something like that. And they just pick a dozen people from the Wrench Gang, right? Myself, Kyle, Jason, some others, and fly us out there, you know? Fly
Not
us out
bad.
there, pick up the West Coast folks in LA, pick them up in LA with the jet, fly over here, land at BWI. We'll get on the jet.
And
Matter of fact,
then
they can land a G6, I think, here at the Frederick Airport. But anyway, we get in the G6, maybe head up to New York and pick up anybody that needs to be picked up there, right? I think we got some folks in the UK, right? We got some Wrench Gang members, I think, in the UK.
in
Stop in the
Australia.
UK, pick up anybody we have to pick up there. Yeah, swing down under, pick up Tim
Tim.
down under, right? And then slide us over from down under. It's a quick little jaunt right over to Japan, right? It's no big deal. And a G650 maybe. Head on over to Japan and spend a week there. That's all it's going to take. In a week's time, we're going to be able to school them and tell them exactly what they need to produce to just have a killer lineup. 4 or 5 basic models, right? I'll give you a hint what one would be. The 002, just like I've got on my wrist here.
Some more
Make
002s.
one with auto wind. Have it available both ways. Manual wind like this one here. But make one available that's auto wind with a screw down crown with 100-meter water resistance with a solid 18 karat gold bracelet. Okay, make that available. Same size as this. Maybe make it 1 mil thicker. You can go as thick as 12 mils total thickness. That'd suffice. That would be okay. That would be acceptable because most 8/8s I think are about 12.1 mils, something like that. I think most of them. So 12 mils max thickness, 38.5 mil size, just like this. Screw down crown, auto wind, and put the gold bracelet on it with ceramic inserts for the pins so that you don't have the wear issues. Come up with a really cool clasp design that has maybe 3 or 4 millimeters. That's all you really need of adjustment on the fly, right? And make 2 or half lengths on either side of that clasp so that you can get it real close and then use that for, let's say, 4 millimeters of travel for on the fly adjustment. That's all we need for that high end, do anything, go anywhere
Watch.
gold stunner. Make it an 18 karat yellow gold.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, and then do the same watch in titanium. Make the same watch available in titanium.
So, but we're
And
talking about men's or women's?
well, I think they can do a ladies version. Maybe do a ladies version in 34 millimeter. Yours is 35.5 mil.
Yep.
Let's hold that up. So a little smaller than that. Make it 34 millimeter, right? And basically offer the same watch. Also, by the way, offer the same watch with the 9F movement, with the movement that
Yes.
you have.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, this is going to shock you guys, some of you all. I would be tempted to buy the 9F version. I really would.
Hmm.
With the screw down crown, 100-meter water resistance, with the 9F movement. You talk about a permanent watch. You talk about a watch that's just not going to have any issues. And to tell you the truth, I like that case design too. I would possibly face them. I would very possibly go with this case design. Go ahead and pull it up on there so we show a photo. I love the 002 case design. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But I kind of like the case design on Brianna's watch even better. Even better. So maybe I would go with that case instead of this case. Let us know in the chat what you guys think about that. What do you guys think about that? Come on, I've said a lot right now. I've said a lot. What do you guys think about that? Are you contemplating that? Tim says, I have contacts in Japan. I can organize the Japan side of the trip. There you go. Boozers in the house. Craig, would you reconsider Tudor if they started using a 9F level quartz movement? No, there's no reason to buy a Tudor. I would just buy a, if I was going to go that route, I would just buy a Rolex. Tudor is just it's a second tier watch that has a lot of issues. That just has a lot of issues. So I would just generally pass. I am much happier with a Grand Seiko than I would be with a Tudor under any circumstances. Okay, so see what I'm talking about? So see that? I like that case design. Now, do you have a picture of it, Bree, that shows the side angle? There you are working out with it. There, right there. See, I like the lugs. I like the shape of the lugs. I like the detailing. And again, this picture does not do the watch justice, not even close. So you
Correct.
really have to see the watch. But that is just a beautiful case. That's a beautiful case. It's just a beautiful case, folks. There's no getting around it. Let me know what you
That's when
guys think
we
about that. Kyle says agreed.
changed
Okay, Kyle, agreed with what? I've said a lot here.
with
Please,
everything.
please tell us. There. No, go back. I like that side view. Go back. Yeah. See the side view of that case, that beautiful shape, that flowing, beautiful shape. See, this is the kind of stuff that Rolex has gotten away from with their chiseled sides and all this stuff. A watch should be rounded and flowing like that. Just like a lady, right? It should have beautiful curves and be nicely flowing. That's how it should be. The grid is in the house. That stingray band is hot. Yeah. Okay. Go back, Bree. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Go back one more.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Even that angle there. That's like, go back. That's like a 3/4 angle there where you can really see that shape of that case and so forth. Okay. So Kyle says practically everything. I do prefer her case shape. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, see, here's the thing. This is the beauty of this is we don't have to redesign the whole watch. They've already got, and even the crown on your watch is gorgeous.
So
The
you're
GS crown.
so you're talking about like the curve
Yeah,
right here.
I just like the shape of
Okay.
that.
Okay, I can see. I can
Yeah,
see.
I just like the shape. I like the 002 also. The 002 is a little bit, maybe a little bit, it looks kind of got some dirt on there. I actually wear my watches, folks. It the 002 almost looks like a 60s type thing. Yours looks more timeless. Yeah, show that picture too.
That was on your wrist, I think.
Yeah, show that picture. That was when I was wearing it. So yeah, it's just freaking gorgeous. And let me tell you something, that everybody likes the snowflake dial, but I love that dial too on that watch. I love
Yes.
that dial also. And I even like the hands. I like everything about her watch. I'm really almost depressed that I sold it and that now you have
Oh God.
it. Oh boy.
But it's a little bit small on you though.
Yeah, I think the O2 is better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Cheetown says I went to Vegas for Christmas. Beautiful weather there. Never got too cold. The drive in the I-15 going back to Southern California and going out to Vegas was horrible due to the flight cancellations. I can
Dang.
imagine. Tim in the house. Craig, isn't there a GS 002 version with the 9F movement already? I think there is. I think there might be, but I don't think it's available in the US. And they need to make it with in titanium, with a titanium bracelet also. And they need to make it, of course, in 18 karat yellow gold, all gold. I showed up late. All I heard was GS and titanium. Yes, we're talking about the perfect watch. GS needs to make solid gold sport watches. Yes, yes, they need to make the
That'd be cool.
231, that one there. They need to make that available in gold and
Oh wow.
in titanium, both. Yes. Okay. Hey, Craig, I ended up buying the 6-digit solid gold date, just
The
solid
date
gold
just.
date just 36. That was featured on your channel a few. Yes,
That's cool.
very good move. That's a beautiful watch, beautiful timepiece. And do tell, is it in great condition? How is it? And Tom wears the 005 often. Yes, the 005 is stunning. Cheetown. It normally takes 5 to 6 hours from Vegas to San Diego. It took us 9.
Oh
Woo.
my God.
Yeah, I heard they were talking I was in the Toxic Happy Hour group on Twitter. And they were talking about all the flight cancellations and everything, and a bunch of people losing their luggage and just all kinds of nonsense.
Oh my God.
What is the over under on that? What
Like,
caused all that? Was it the bad
is there a lot of
weather?
snow or something?
Yeah, what was the thing? Because we didn't
I don't.
have snow here. We
I
had
don't
cold.
even. Yeah.
We had a little freezing rain the other day, but nothing that should cancel a whole bunch of flights. Um, yeah, let us know what happened on that. Let's see what else. What else happened in 2022? That's real
Oh,
important.
what happened?
Anything else go on with you?
I got a new cat.
You got a cat, beautiful cat.
I turned 23.
You turned 23, and the biggest thing is you became a whole coiner.
Biggest thing I've
A
become
whole
a whole
coiner.
coiner.
Yes,
I think
that's
that's the biggest thing.
that's fantastic. Um,
But I feel like there's more to come in 2023.
well, hopefully, those idiots that hit your car will take responsibility finally
Cart
and settle with you and pay all your medical bills
compensation.
and your lost income and all of that good stuff. And you could put that whole thing behind you and pay for your car, which is basically totaled. Pay for that. And what's neat is you can keep driving the car because even though the whole driver's side of the car is like wiped out, it still works. You just
Yeah,
can't, your rear door doesn't open.
it doesn't open. Always
It's
got to
fu-
tell people like don't open that.
it's funny the way the truck slammed into you and then the bumper went along the whole side of your car, but it went underneath the mirror, like your driver's side rear view mirror on the driver's side
Oh
door.
God,
It
I don't
didn't
even
get
know.
it
I don't
didn't
even
get
know
wiped out.
how the
The mirror's
windows
okay.
didn't break. Yeah.
Yeah, the mirror's okay. The whole side of the car is like, sideswiped.
My tires were kind of screwed up.
Your wheels were kind of screwed up. Your tires were kind of screwed up. That we had to have some work done on the suspension. They had to replace
Steering.
the steering rack, the rack and
Yes.
pinion,
Rack and pinion.
and then ultimately you had to have the pump replaced for your power steering.
All of that was
That
expensive.
was all
Really
whacked up
expensive.
from the accident. So It took a couple $1,000s to get the car back on the
Yeah,
road, but at
yeah.
least you've been able to drive it all this time, and then eventually, hopefully, you'll get a nice, healthy settlement. But knowing you, you'll probably just put that in Bitcoin. You'll probably just keep driving the Honda Accord and put the money in Bitcoin. It's probably what you'll do.
I think that'd be smarter.
Yeah, and then
Even
just
though I can hear the wind in the back and water leaks in the car when it rains.
other than that,
Does it rain in Florida?
no, it doesn't
Sometimes.
rain much there, so you're going to be good. It rains in the summer. It does rain, but it's going to be in the garage.
Oh, well,
We got
that's
a garage
perfect.
down
That's
there, so
perfect.
it's going to be in the garage. So let's see. Uh, okay, we got to catch up here. Bree lost all her BTC in an accident this year. That's right, a truck accident. Tom in the house. Our live show is going to be more regular in 2023. I'll tell you what we're planning on
I hope
doing.
so.
What we're planning on doing is once we move to the facility down in Sarasota, we're going to set up
Bigger one.
a bigger, better broadcasting studio. And yeah, we should do more live shows. Definitely do more live shows. And we'll do some more between now and then, obviously, but it's
And
not going to
like
be
the
as regular.
backdrop
Because
will
here's
be
about somebody
more
asked about
beautiful.
Steve. Somebody asked about Steve earlier. I reached out to him several times, trying to get more shows going, trying to get him to come as a
So what
guest,
happens?
trying to get him to get some people to come on as guests. Maybe somebody from GS or whatever. No, crickets. I've heard nothing.
Hmm.
I've heard nothing. So I mean, it's like pulling teeth. I don't understand it because we're still getting a lot of views on the Grand Seiko videos that I did, the legacy videos. They're still getting a lot of views. I mean, hundreds of thousands of views a month in total, if you add them all up.
So if they see the live shows,
And I guarantee you, and some of those people are buying watches. I get feedback from people. Oh, I saw your video about the 231. I saw your video about this or whatever. Yeah, I bought a watch. I really like it. What I mean, people are taking action, right? I don't get it.
getting the good watches,
I don't get it.
not the ugly
If I
ones.
was Steve, I would want to do a show at least once a week. I'd want to do that. But I guess he's just busy with other things, just doesn't have the time. San Diego is a major hub for Southwest. It takes up most traffic in Terminal 1. So pretty much everyone at San Diego International got stranded there. But what happened in the terminal? I didn't even hear. I don't pay attention to the news. So let me know what happened in the terminal. Did somebody bomb it or something? What the heck
Oh
happened?
my
Tim's in the
god.
house. Okay, make the GS dive watch in gold, 9F movement, 40 millimeter case
There
diameter
you
with
go.
11 millimeter thick, perfect at the price. Yes, yes, Tim. See, this is why they need
Pay
to
attention.
hire a G650 and fly us the heck out there. That's what they need to do. Evelyn's in the house. Yes, stickered, pristine condition, date just, reference 116238, box and warranty card dated 2014, plus green tag. Wow. The case back also not engraved. I gifted it to my father for his 70th birthday. Whoa, what a wonderful gesture. What a beautiful thing to do. Wonderful.
Amazing.
Is that your dad's
Amazing.
first Rolex? That is wonderful. Are you gonna gift me a solid gold Rolex on my 70th birthday, Bree?
Yes.
There you go. You all guys heard it here first. Zombie car refuses to die. That's right.
Family's car
My
fleet consists of
family's car
multiple
fleet consists of
Lexus.
multiple Lexuses and Hondas. Latest acquisition is LS430. They're wonderful. LS430 is wonderful. I had one I bought new in
Both of them are
2002.
pretty good cars. Like
They wouldn't have
reliable.
it any other way. Yes, you done good. Little Treasury Channel is good for new GS reviews. Yeah, he does some nice videos on the watches, but they should do some live shows. Why not? Why not do some live shows? And Evelyn says yes, first Rolex. Okay.
Carlos in the house.
Carlos, we missed him. Merry Christmas and happy 2023. Yes, it's going to be a wonderful 2023.
Cool.
And I think we're going to find out in 2023, if not by early 2024, we're going to find out if Carlos is right about Bitcoin, right? Because if Bitcoin pumps again
But there's
for
not a
an
bet, right? There's not a bet.
there's no bet, but
There's no bet.
if Bitcoin pumps again into the next 4-year cycle, in other words, after the halving in 2024 and up into 2025, if Bitcoin pumps like crazy and goes up to like over 100,000 or something like that, I think at that point it's not there will be no stopping it.
There's no going back.
I think that's it. I think even all the naysayers will start saying, "Hey, this thing is just not dying. It's just not going away. It's doing these 4-year cycles like clockwork, and it's just going to keep doing it." I think they're going to come to that conclusion, and so they're going to all want to allocate some of their money into Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Even if the wealthy just start putting 1% of their money in Bitcoin, that's it. We're off to the races. Bitcoin will never turn back.
And it'll plummet, a lot
Well, after the big pump. Yeah,
after
it
the
does.
big
Yeah,
the
obviously.
halving.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say it pumps to. Let's be conservative here. Let's say it pumps to 150,000 in 2025. I can see it pulling back to 40,000.
Wow.
You know, even maybe 30,000, 30, 40, 50, somewhere in there, pulling back to that, and then having a sideways movement for a year or two, and then having a next hype cycle. And in the next hype cycle after that, God knows how high it would go. It might go to 500,000. And we're talking the 2028 halving.
Wow. I'm excited.
Things could get crazy, folks. Things could get crazy. Tom says it's like 2018 in the comment section. What does he mean by that?
I don't know.
It's great to have you on the show in 2023. More live shows with Carlos. Yes.
Yeah,
We
he should
sent
come
the
more.
link. Carlos can join us right now. We sent them the link, right? In the
Yeah, it's in
email?
the email.
In the
We
email, let's put it in the
send it to
chat
like
here. Let's put it in the chat
every ranch gang member.
in case anybody wants to come in and say hi. Here you go. There is the link, the StreamYard link to join the fun. Cheetown, what do you notice about German and domestic car owners in your family is they'll dump those cars every couple of years. Total Lexus Hondas outlive the family dogs. Good point. Well, they better dump them because they better not keep those things out of warranty because they're going to get slammed. My family has owned their second LS 400 since it was a year old. Still runs perfectly.
Cool.
You know what? I had a 1990 LS 400. Wonderful car. I sold it when it had just over 100,000 miles on it. I should have kept that car. I sold it in 2001 and I got a 2001 Camry. And then I got a 2002 Lexus LS 430. Then the 2001 Camry, Kenny wrecked it, totaled it. So then I got a 2002 Camry. Those were good cars. Both of those Camrys were good cars too. They were both 4-cylinder, not the V6s. They were good, solid cars. The only other car I had that was really solid, I had a 1996, bought all these new, 1996 Toyota Corolla, 4-speed, base
Those
model, 4-speed
those are
with
good.
air, crank up windows. That thing was bulletproof until finally Kenny wrecked it.
Oh my
He
god.
wrecked that one too. So there you go. Actually, that one he didn't wreck. I lent it to him for an extended period of time, and he never checked the oil, and it got low on oil. It had 160,000 miles on it at that point. It got low on oil, and he just ran it until the engine burned up. He didn't bother to put any oil in it.
Hmm.
So that he kind of ruined the engine on that one. So let's see here. Tim, when I pull the trigger on my GS, I will tell Steve I will order from him only if he comes on the live show. There you go. Leverage. So he can't join Carlos.
Okay.
Carlos, when is your next trip to California? Do you get by
Offer
offer
notes on your
notes
Prius.
on your Prius? I don't know. I don't, but it's in really good condition. My Prius has 130,000 miles on it. It looks like new, doesn't it?
It does.
It's always kept in the
It keeps
garage.
in, yeah,
Yeah.
garage.
So, Kyle, I assume end of May for my son's graduation. Wow. Time's going by. His son is graduating just like that. LS 430 is the sweet spot, newer and more refined than the 400, but less complex to maintain than the 460. Yeah, they all have their little quirks. Um, but yeah, I kind of would go probably with the LS 430, but I wouldn't be totally scared of an LS 460. I would get the base model. I would get the one without the that air suspension system, that more complicated suspension system. I think you can get them without that. So I wouldn't run away from, if I found a LS 460 that was in really great shape, little old lady car type of thing, I wouldn't run away from it. But I think the LS 430 would be a good move. Yeah, I agree with you. Late 90s to 2000 glory days of Toyota. Yes. Um, did you buy an ambulance? No, I haven't. I came close a couple times, and the prices are coming back down on it. Prices got crazy during all the COVID nonsense, but the prices are coming back down. So we'll see. I might get one. It's just kind of a fun project to play around with. It's not a need to have.
Yeah.
Good. Rich should be home by then. Okay. Um, wait, Rich should be home by then. What is Rich? Do tell. Do we have inside information? Is Rich leaving Little Treasury to go back to California? Do tell.
Interesting.
Inquisitive minds want to know. My recommendation is never leave your Prius sitting out in easy reach. Catalytic converter theft on those is rampant. Well, here's the thing. I don't travel in dangerous, dicey areas. Um, if I was, and I had this debate with somebody in one of the forums where he had a gold Rolex and he was scared to share to wear it because he thought that it would get taken from him. And I told him, I said, listen, life is too short to live in fear. To live in
Like,
fear.
don't even go in there. Don't even go there.
Move. Go somewhere where it's safer.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, I would have no problem parking my car almost anywhere in public in Sarasota and not fear some idiot coming and stealing the catalytic converter. I
Yeah.
would not think twice about it because it's a safe area, and they don't put up with crime there. So that's what you need to do. You need to go somewhere where they take the thugs and they take them around the corner and they rough them up a little bit.
Damn thing.
They rough them up a little bit, like the old days. Carlos is in the house. Recently, I have learned a lot about how Spain was key for U.S. independence. It is not well known in Spain, and I assume neither is known in the USA. Interesting. Very interesting, Carlos. Yes, I find that interesting. Kyle's in the house. I have no inside information, but how long could he possibly stay there? I don't
That's
know.
true.
I mean, why did he go there in the first place? I thought the guy was a lawyer. I mean, I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't understand the whole deal. Um, one of my family members had an LS 600 HL, but the repairs on that car are exponentially higher than the 460. Yeah, yeah, I would run and hide from that. Absolutely. He sold it and bought a LS 430. He couldn't be happy. Oh my gosh, yes. I Yeah, no, the newer ones, no, the newest one I would get would be 460. Yeah, I wouldn't go with any of the others unless you're one of these people that just keep them in the warranty period and then get rid of them. But no, they've screwed up those cars. And also, I don't like the looks of them. The last one I like the looks of is the LS 460. Let's see here. Craig, in my youth, American cars were the top. Then we got uh,
Pinto
Ford
Cadillac.
Pinto, Cadillac, Cimarron, and so on. What went so terribly wrong? But we have to be honest about things here, guys. I mean, a lot of those cars had rust problems. Not that some Toyotas don't now. You got to watch like the frames on like Toyota Land Cruisers and stuff like that can get rust in them if it's from a rusty area. So you got to watch that on some new modern cars too. But for the most part, rust has been kind of is not as big a deal. But back in the day, a lot of those cars had rust issues. And so and you know, prior to fuel injection, the engines and all just didn't last much more than 100,000 miles. Let's face it, let's be realistic. Fuel injection was a major step forward as far as keeping that fuel air mixture accurate so that the engines actually lasted a lot longer.
Oh,
So
hey,
looks like
Tim.
Tim's coming in. Yes, Tim's coming in. Let's bring him up.
Hello, Tim.
Okay, we got Tim in the house. Let's pull this comment off. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah, coming through loud and clear.
Perfect. So where are you?
Well, I'm just at home here in Melbourne, Australia, and I thought now's the time to maybe do a live stream.
Yeah, absolutely. What's on your wrist?
Look, as I said, I haven't pulled the trigger on the Grand Seiko yet, but I'm wearing a Zin.
Okay, let's see. Hold it up.
Okay, hold it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's very legible. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Absolutely. Now, which Grand Seiko are you considering?
well, look, Craig, I like your watch, but
Which one?
the
The 231?
no,
The
no,
diver?
no, I need a dress watch. I need something for work.
So you like the 002?
I do. So,
But that would be the watch to buy used, I have to say, because
yeah,
Jason got a great deal on his.
did you?
He paid, I
Yeah.
think, I want to say around 13.5, 13.8, something like that.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Now, it's not that easy to come by them at that price. You got to kind of keep your eye open and make an offer and, you know, grab it when you can. But
Yeah.
I think he knows somebody that might have one.
Oh, okay.
So if you are serious about an 002, I would definitely talk to Jason. You know Jason, right?
Yes. I've seen him on the show. So, well, that's something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. I would consider that because you're going to save a lot of money.
But I need something that to wear with a business suit.
Yes. Well, the 002 is perfect. It's
Yeah.
a beauty. I mean, I love it. But if you can
Either
save
that
some
or
money, save some
uh,
money.
either that or Bree can give me her watch.
Breeze watch is stunning. By the way, you can do a saved search on eBay for that model,
That's true.
and those they come up from time to time on eBay, and
They
they're
do.
pretty reasonable. So that also, if you don't mind the 35, I think this is 35.5 millimeter, something like that. If you don't mind that size, I think it's a beauty. I wore it as a dress watch for a while before I got
Mhm.
this one. And you can buy one of those for probably $4,000 in really great shape.
And Bree, what's the diameter on that watch?
35.5 mil.
Okay, well that's not too bad. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Hold it up so you can see it. Good.
Now, look, I'm afraid I'm not really presented for the show. I'm a little bit messy. I'm on holiday
No,
here.
we just like to have you pop in and be able to chat with you.
Have anyone pop
It's
in.
easier to talk back and forth in the chat. You know,
I,
it's
I haven't even had a shower yet. So,
well that you look great for somebody who hasn't showered. So
That's
what
cute.
time is it there?
look, it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Oh,
We've got Djokovic has just arrived in Melbourne for the Australian Open.
Okay.
He was banned last year. We sent him home last year. We deported him.
Yeah. Now has he said he's still not going to take the vaccine, right?
No, he's allowed to come. There's no requirement for a vaccine now.
Okay.
It's
Good. Well, we'll see how he does. We'll
we'll
see
see,
if he
we'll see how he goes. But
yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
he should
Well,
be. I mean, Djokovic should be wearing a Grand Seiko.
everybody should wear a Grand Seiko, really. I can't think
Of a
of a
better
better
watch.
watch brand. I really can't. I mean, I don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
I just like we talk about the cars, I want reliability in my watches as well. I don't want to
And
buy
comfort.
something like a Patek and have it cost a fortune to service it and have to baby it and all of that kind of stuff. I don't I
Mm-hmm.
don't want that's why the same reason I wouldn't buy a Ferrari, right? I
Well,
don't
that's right.
want I don't want that sort of thing.
No, absolutely. And I lived in Japan for a while, Craig. So I've always been an admirer of the company.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm now 5 years that I've had the diver and I couldn't be happier. And two plus years of having the O02. And but I'll be the first one to say if either one of them gives trouble. I mean, I'll be the first one to say. But so
Yeah,
far, they've been great.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you for
Well,
coming in. I got to get back to the comments here. But anything else you want to say before we let you go?
no, just to let you know, I enjoy the show, Craig, and looking forward to participating more next year.
Sure, absolutely.
Somebody asked, is that a Zen U1?
Oh, is it the watch? What's the model of your watch, Tim?
It was a limited edition. It's a U50, so it's a smaller version.
Okay, so when you say small, how many millimeters?
It's 40 mil diameter and it's 11 millimeters thick.
Perfect. That's perfect for a
So
sport watch.
that's why I like it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not too thick. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for popping in. We
Okay.
will pop in anytime you can when we're doing these shows. I love to get an update from you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, folks. It's just as easy as that to pop into the show. Okay, we got to go through the comments here real quick.
I don't.
Are you still buying a new Goldwing? No, I wouldn't buy a new one, and I'm not going to buy a Goldwing. Period. They're too big and heavy for what I would want to do. That's a motorcycle. That's a full dress motorcycle. I'm not going to do any long distance touring on motorcycles. I'm beyond all that. Now I might get a big scooter like a Suzuki Bergman 650 scooter to scoot around Sarasota. I might get something like that. They're really kind of cool. So we'll see. There's a couple of them that I've seen down there for sale from time to time. So if I can get a real nice garage kept one, low mileage, I might do that. Bree is soon to get a nice fat paycheck from Carlos for conquistador reparations. Actually,
Possibly.
she wouldn't get it because her family's also from Spain and were probably part of the whole thing. They were probably fighting with Carlos right
Oh,
alongside Carlos.
God.
So they're the ones that are
I'm
going to
kind of
have to pay.
mixed.
Well, but not really. You're like your dad and your mom are both like
White.
conquistador types. Yeah,
Conquistador types.
absolutely they are. Yeah, so I don't think you can avoid that. Bree is who should pay reparations to. I don't know. See, yeah, we just talked about that. That's right, Carlos. 2017 is the last year of the 460. The V6 model came after that. Yeah, so a 2017, I haven't researched which year of 460 would be the best one to get, but I would get the one that's more of the base model that doesn't have the real complicated suspension system. I understand that suspension can be converted to regular suspension from the air suspension or whatever it is that gives trouble in those suspension systems. It can be converted anyway, so it's not a big deal. But you don't want things like the more complicated, like door handles and entry system and stuff. There's some stuff on the higher end ones that is more complicated and gives trouble. There's a guy, Car Care Nut, has a YouTube channel that he goes into all of this stuff. So before I pull a trigger, I'll make sure that I try to get one that's less problematic. But I'll try to get a really low mileage garage kept, little old lady car. That's what I've always bought in the past. That's been my MO. I usually get a 10-year-old car. This is what I did back in the day, folks. I drove a lot of Cadillacs, usually a Cadillac Fleetwood, like a Fleetwood Brougham, something like that. I would get one that was 10 years old. Like I had a beautiful 1971 Cadillac Brougham, Fleetwood Brougham. Guess what year I had it? It was a 1971. Guess what year I had it?
61.
No, 1981. It
Oh,
was 10 years old.
81.
It was 10 years old. It was garage kept in Chevy Chase, Maryland. It had 60,000 original miles on it. It was beautiful. I paid $900 for it. It was 10 years old. Okay, but only had 60,000 miles on it. Pull it up. Go to my Flickr and search Fleetwood, Fleetwood. See if it comes up here. Are we logged? We're not logged
This is
in.
not. Yeah.
You got to log in as me. So you had to log in as you before?
I wasn't even logged in.
Oh, yeah. We may not be able to get in because I don't even know if I'm under that email. I don't think I am. You can probably find it if you search Craig Ship and Fleetwood. You
Yeah.
could probably find it without even
Right.
being logged in. Well, no, 2 words, Fleetwood and then Craig Ship. So anyway, we got to make sure we're logged in from now on that. That new LS is horrid. Yes, I agree. Kyle's in the house. Tom looks like a blue Sen U50. Yes, he should be. Seiko is below the greatest of all time. GS for Novak. Okay. Let's see here. By the way, I am open to
There's
talk about
one.
reparations while people. Yeah, now that's a 66 Fleetwood. Yeah, that's a 66. So go ahead and show that one. So that's a 66 Fleetwood. Okay. But
What about?
that one
Oh,
was
yeah.
bought to resell, and I didn't have it that long. So the one I drove was a 1971. So go back
Is that
to
a
the
Burberry?
Yeah, that's a Burberry shirt, and that's an 8000X Motorola phone that at the time they were about $3,500 for the phone. People complain about the price of their cell phone, right?
3,500?
That one was 3,500,
Oh my
brand new.
God.
So yeah. Okay, so yeah, go back and go back to that search and see if you can find view. Oh, so it only had those two?
Yeah, I searched.
Okay, so search 1971 and then Craig Ship and see what happens. Let's see. Nice guest, Tom. Carlos in the house. Great to see Tim. You for the amazing Raj, thinnest 500-meter automatic driver on the market. Good info. Tom, I'm far too deep in the hobby. Okay. I'm trying to catch up here. I'm going to blast through some of these folks. So my friend just got a 1961 Vespa. Wow, cool. I love Car Care Nut. Yeah. He's all about Lexus and Toyota. Yeah, and you get some valuable information from him. 1981. Kyle says 1981. So he knew that was when I would have it. So it's not coming up, huh? Bree, you're going to have to get in. Here, let me give you my phone so you can get my password.
Or, yeah.
It's going to be, I wonder if I put it in notes. See if I put it in there. We're trying to get everything over into notes, but I don't know. Derek's in the house. Craig, you're back. Okay. 3,500 back in 1981 is about 10 grand now. Yeah, I'm that's my point. So which iPhone do you have now? I just got an iPhone 14 Pro. Not the big Pro Max, but the Pro. I don't like the big one. You get in?
Hope that's the password.
There it is. Yeah, both those pictures. Show both of those. Here we go, folks. Told you I don't make this stuff up. There's the 1971 Fleetwood Brougham. That's my friend Richard in the background. He had a Rolex. I think he was probably wearing a GMT Master at the time of that photo. We'll find that picture just so they know that I'm not neck talking here. All right, so that's the Fleetwood Brougham. Show the next photo. And there you go. There's the rear seats. Okay. And what year is that? Go back to that other photo. That Trans Am. See the back end of the Trans Am? I believe that's a 1979 Trans Am. Okay. A 1979 Trans Am that was almost new when that picture was taken. So that was a 1971. So maybe I bought it when it was 9 years old. Maybe I bought it
Can't really
in
tell.
1980. It was roughly in that time frame. It was roughly 10 years old. It might have been 9 years old. But that was my MO. That's what I did. I bought them when they were 10 years old and still had super low mileage, because then you get them cheap. You get them cheap. Show the interior again. Look at those. Oh, we're not showing it. Look at those leather seats. How comfortable.
Was it cold? It looks like winter.
Wintertime when I took the photos? It might have been, yeah.
Like the trees are kind of dead.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah. Go back to the other photo. See if you can see. Yeah, there's no leaves on those trees. And he's got a Harris tweed sport coat on. So it would have been like a, chilly, not super cold, but chilly
40,
day.
50 degree.
So go ahead and do another search. Search Richard. Did the 71 Fleetwood? Yes, it had power seats both sides, split seats, power
That's
on both
him.
sides. Yeah. Okay. So bring that up. Notice the GMT Master. Notice the GMT Master on his wrist. Okay, with a Jubilee bracelet. Notice that. Okay, I'm not making this stuff up. All right.
Was that like a girl?
That's some model. She's probably a supermodel from like the early 80s, right?
Model.
If you guys can you guys identify the supermodel? Can you guys, let's see how sharp you guys are. Can you identify the supermodel in that magazine? Who is she? Be from the early 80s, okay? Late 70s, early 80s. What do you think? Which supermodel is that?
That's like swimwear.
Okay. There you go. All right. Is there another one of Richard? Is that it? Okay. So, dear Santa brought a date to Craig. You missed it. Craig, what do you think of the 77 Caprices and Palace? Interesting you asked. I had a demo. I had a 1977 Caprice. Or is it a 78? I think it was a 77. Yeah, there you go. There's the Rolex again. Okay. See, he's wearing a Rolex. All right. Right there with a Jubilee bracelet. All right. You guys think I'm making this stuff up, right? And that would have been late 70s, probably around 79-ish. And that was at the Rockville Car Show. And guess what car he's leaning on? Zoom back out. What car do you think he's leaning on, folks? Let's see how sharp you guys are. What car, what vehicle is he leaning on at the Rockville Car Show?
1984.
Don't tell them. No, don't tell them. I say 1984, but no, it wasn't 84. It was before that. That's not correct. That was an estimate, but it was before that. So anyway, what do you guys think? What car is he leaning on? Of course, he's wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses. What car is he leaning on? I'll give you a hint. It's a rare automobile. Top of the line, rare automobile. Okay. All right, we got to finish this up. Carlos says adult magazine, it seems. I don't think it was an adult magazine, but it had some racy pictures in it. Imagine if Toyota could reissue their classic cars from the 90s and 2000s. If the government would get out of the car business, we could. Are you interested in space tourism, Craig? Not really. Let's see. Craig, you got the date back from Sam. No. Steve has more hair now.
Imperial?
Was that an Imperial LeBaron? No, but I had an Imperial LeBaron. We'll bring that up next. Okay, that car that he's leaning on, that is a Packard Caribbean convertible, 1953 Packard Caribbean convertible. So go ahead and search Caribbean. See if something comes up. Packard Caribbean. Yeah. And search 1953. Well, there was a 53 there too. Search 53. There's the green one right there. That's it.
Oh, wow.
So that is a Packard Caribbean convertible. That's what he was leaning on.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's what he was leaning on. Okay, go ahead. Let's show him the Imperial LeBaron that I had that was owned originally by Jackie Kennedy.
Is it on your Flickr or do we
it's
have
on
to...
my Flickr. Search 1964, I think it was.
1964.
Yep. 1964 Imperial. Just do that. That should be enough. There it is, the black one. So there's the Imperial LeBaron. It had dual air conditioning, had front and rear air conditioning. And that was supposedly, and we had documentation, that was supposedly owned new by Jackie Kennedy.
Cool.
And spent some time at the Kennedy estate down in McLean, Virginia. Down in McLean, Virginia. Where is Lance? Nice car. Craig, were you a fan of the Talking Heads? Not really. Not really. Okay, Bree, we're going to wrap it up. You're probably hungry. We've been going more than an hour. See, these guys keep us going. This is what they do. This is what they do.
Scammers.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been a fantastic 2022. I think 2023 is going to be amazing. Let's see. Craig, would you rather be court ordered to only drive Ferraris or only wear Tudors for all of 2023? That would be terrible. I would have to suffer. Kyle says I like them. He likes what? Craig, I can't. Lance is a billionaire on his yacht in the Caribbean with the supermodel Craig just showed. Good point, but she's quite a bit older by now. Unfortunately, Derek can't end here. Rain and light, fear music just got in. Carla says we can't end. Cheatown says thanks, Bree and Craig. See, he's going to let us go.
Thank you. Now wrapping up, puppies.
All right, thanks everybody. Bree, are you going to show your website one more time?
Sure.
You don't even have it in a tab?
Oh, that sucks.
That's a major fail. That's a major fail, folks. You can see we do have to do these shows more often because you get rusty. You don't even have your website ready to go. There you go. Shouldn't we wait for Megan at least? Kyle.
It's been over an hour.
Puppies should be frolicking in the grass, not being wrapped up. There you go. All right. The lovely Bree Fit Dance in the house, folks. Yes, we are thankful for a beautiful 2022 and a stunning 2023 on the way. See you guys next time.